How's it going, everyone? In this video, I want to talk about Sony potentially having a big PlayStation event coming up next month, similar to what we saw with, like, a PlayStation showcase. We'll talk about that. God of War Ragnarok may be coming earlier than expected based on a listing over on a storefront. It may be coming out within the first half of the year. We'll talk about that, and Amazon seemingly leaking early copies of Gran Turismo 7. More on that at the end of this video, but first of all, this news is a little bit dated, but it was coming from Nick of the Xbox Era podcast, who has been on point several times, noting that there is a big PlayStation event scheduled for next month, and that this would be the good one. I would imagine that this would be a lot of the announcements and reveals for the latter portion of the year and going into 2023. If you actually look at it, there's quite a few games we already know for later this year in 2023, most notably God of War Ragnarok and of course Marvel Spider-Man 2, that is. We'll talk about God of War in a little bit, but there's a lot of stuff that's still a little bit of an unknown at this point, like whether or not God of War Ragnarok is going to be the only major PlayStation title for this year, and I really don't think that's the case. Yes, a lot of the PlayStation studios have put out major titles within the last 2 years or so. Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Horizon Forbidden West, of course, just came out. 2021, you had Ratchet & Clank from Insomniac, you had Housemarque doing Returnal. However, these studios, if you've been paying attention, have been getting bigger and bigger. They're hiring more and more people, and it does look like these studios are working on multiple titles. So I wouldn't be all too surprised if Naughty Dog announced a title, let's say a Last of Us 1 remake that would be coming out for later this year or early 2023. And I do think that we are going to get back to a little bit more consistency as we are getting out of the pandemic era, which I think a lot of things were thrown into flux. So hopefully we can get into a point with more consistent announcements. Also, the Twitter account NGT, who has revealed a couple of things in the past, also noted that Hogwarts Legacy trailer in March 100%, and it will be shown at the upcoming PlayStation event. So that title seems to be one that people are iffy on whether or not it's going to be a 2022 game. Hopefully it is a 2022 game, because people have been looking forward to that for a very, very long time. But I'm hoping that, you know, outside of God of War Ragnarok, it would be really cool that if we could get like another major exclusive by the end of the year. I mean, that would be a pretty solid 2022 if we could get Horizon Forbidden West, Gran Turismo 7, God of War, and one other major exclusive to round things out for a PlayStation lineup. I think that is pretty darn good. Final Fantasy 16 seems to be up in the air on whether or not that's going to be 2022. I had been very optimistic in the case of FF16. I really thought it was going to be a 2022 game, but looks like, you know, that might not be happening. But it would be really awesome if we could get another major title, because generally speaking, for the last couple of years, it's been like 2 major big exclusives a year. Last year, you had Returnal and Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart. The year before that, in 2020, you actually had a little bit more if you look at PS4 and PS5. You had Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us Part 2, Demon's Souls, and Spider-Man Miles Morales. If we can get years like that, where you're getting, you know, a solid 4 titles, I think that would be great. And you know, often I bring up the fact that some of these studios, they do take longer and longer to develop games. However, you do have to put, like, the pandemic era aside a little bit, based on the fact that that did delay a lot of games. When you look at, like, Guerrilla, yes, they took 5 years from Horizon to Horizon 2, but I really do believe that Horizon 2 would have come out in 2021 had it not been for everything going on. But prior to that, if you look at Guerrilla, Killzone 2 in 2009, Killzone 3 in 2011, Killzone Shadowfall in late 2013, so 2.5 years from Killzone 3, which was February of 2011, to Killzone Shadowfall, and then a brand new IP in Horizon Zero Dawn, totally different from Killzone. That was just 3.5 years later. It's not like that was that long. Forbidden West took a long time to do, but Guerrilla is pretty darn consistent. Then you look at a Sucker Punch, Infamous in 2009, Infamous 2 in 2011, Infamous Second Son in early 2014, Infamous First Light, don't forget about that, the standalone expansion, that was 2015, I believe, and yes, they took a while to do Ghost of Tsushima, but that was a brand new big IP as well. So, I don't think it's going to be that long. Maybe this is wishful thinking for, like, a Ghost of Tsushima 2, for example. Do I think it's going to be, you know, 2022? Absolutely not. 2023? Probably not. Maybe early 24. but I think the turnover is going to get a slight bit quicker for some of these titles. Maybe I'm wrong about that. At the end of the day, take your time, make these games as good as you can because there's a high bar to set, but you also look at like an Insomniac. Insomniac has been killing it. Spider-Man ended 2018, Miles Morales 2020, Rift Apart 2021, Spider-Man 2 2023, hopefully Wolverine by 2024. Even if Wolverine is 2025, that wouldn't be the end of the world. That's still a solid, consistent stream of games from Insomniac. So enough rambling there aside. God of War Ragnarok. This is interesting, and this bit of news, I guess you could call it, rumor, has been making the rounds on social media and on Twitter. I guess social media, all things considered. Over on his storefront, the game has been listed for June of 2022, which would be very, very soon. That's a little bit quicker than I had anticipated. However, there is a big PlayStation event that is rumored to be happening next month, as we've been talking about in this video. What a better way to cap off that event than with a God of War Ragnarok release date. June seems a little bit too early, but hell, I would love to see a June release window, and it was actually pointed out, God of War 2018, I believe the release date for that game was announced in January, and it ultimately came out April 20th of 2018. Yes, April 20th sticks out to me, especially of 2018. God of War Ragnarok, if it was a March announcement for a June release, hey, the timeline works out there. I just don't think it's gonna be I don't think it's gonna be June. It, to me, seems more of like a September title, but hey, I would love to be wrong. I would love to see God of War Ragnarok a little bit earlier. That would be a major, major title, and we've been seeing it a lot with games recently. Like, games will get their release dates announced not that ahead of its release. Like Ghostwire Tokyo, things came together in early February. It's coming out at the end of March, so I could see it happening. Part of me thinks it's exceedingly wishful thinking, and it's something that, again, I'm wishfully thinking that this is going to happen, but man, that would be tremendous if we did get a June 2022 release date on that, because that would really set up a fantastic summer, you know, at least that early portion of summer for PlayStation, because, you know, July is usually a dead month, latter of June, and early August is pretty quiet as well, so to get God of War out there, that would be pretty tremendous. Lastly, I do want to know, this is more humorous than anything, Amazon is seemingly delivering copies of Gran Turismo 7 a week early. Yeah, you better watch out for those Gran Turismo spoilers. You don't want those. I kid, of course, but as being pointed out by individuals on Twitter that they are getting their copies of Gran Turismo 7 in from Amazon. I don't know what happened. A little bit humorous than anything else, but hey, GT7, if you're getting it early, if you guys did get it early from Amazon, let me know. But I should let you guys know that the preload is live on the PlayStation Store. Yeah, a week ahead of the release, the preload's already there. It's like 100 gigabytes, so make sure you get on that preload. You definitely don't want to start that like on Thursday before the game drops on Friday, so jump on that as soon as you can. But again, that I'm incredibly excited about. So happy that there's going to be a campaign mode and a more solo experience if you do want to have that. It looks like customizability, a competitive aspect, all of those elements are still going to be there pretty solidly in the game. But that is going to do it for me. Again, rumors of a PlayStation event happening next month. Hopefully it is a big one, and hopefully we got a lot of sizable announcements. I wasn't that hot on the PlayStation showcase back the latter portion of last year, just because we didn't get a lot of release dates, man. We were getting like Spider-Man 2, great, CG trailer. Wolverine, great, CG trailer. I want some games I want to play soon. I can play soon, you know. God of War coming in June? Oh my god, that'd be a huge thumbs up. If we get some for the latter portion of 2022, fantastic. Or even early 23. You know, I just want things to kind of come together as far as games we can play soon, but we'll see about that. Ragnarok, again, potentially in June based on that listing, and Gran Turismo 7 being leaked by Amazon a little bit early. That's going to do it for me. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.